Hello everyone, Eric Demeter here, author of How Should a Christian Date, coming out in September 2021. Today we're going to answer the question, can a Christian woman ask out a guy? That's also the topic of my latest blog, so check that out at ericdemeter.com. And please like this video and subscribe if you find value in what I'm saying. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing to address are the two terms can versus should. Can a Christian woman ask out a guy? Absolutely. If she has a friend, Joe, that she likes, she could say, Joe, I like you. Do you like me? Do you want to go out on a date? It could be that simple. And I know a couple who would have not gotten married if the woman hadn't pursued him. If she hadn't asked him out, they would have not gotten married and had kids and had a great marriage today. So there are times when it works. And the second part is then should. Should a Christian woman ask out a guy? And even though I believe she absolutely can, I would mostly advise against it, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so what does the Bible say about this topic? Well, first of all, they didn't date back in Bible times, so it's really hard to go back thousands of years and extract lessons about a practice which our culture has invented. But let's look at two Bible stories and see if we can see what God's heart is in dating, relationships, marriage. So the first one is Ruth and Boaz. So as you know, Ruth was gleaning the fields of Boaz when Naomi gave her the great idea to approach Boaz in the middle of the night to take a shower, put on perfume, and go out to where they were harvesting and to lay at his feet. So she literally goes out there in the dark of night and she lays at his feet, clearly indicating that she's interesting. And that was a bold, brash move back then. The second story is about Tamar and Judah. Tamar was wronged by Judah. Judah was supposed to give Tamar his third-born son, but he refused to do so. So she dresses up as a prostitute. She literally disguises herself as a hooker, and she waits for Judah, and they have sex, and she has two kids. And God used that. God used that story, and God used the story of Ruth and Boaz, both of which are mentioned in the genealogy of Jesus. So when a woman's bold and brash, hey, God can do anything, and he used these two stories for his glory. I would still advise a woman to not be that direct with a guy. I believe what we just saw with Ruth and with Tamar, that these are exceptions to the rule, not the norm. And basically, God was describing them, not prescribing them. Let's look at Genesis 28, and we see Isaac commanding Jacob to go and leave his home and to find a wife. And it says that Jacob left. Jacob did the leaving part. He went to pursue Rachel, and he actually had to work 14 years for her, so he was really dedicated. And next, Proverbs 18:22 says, he who finds a wife finds a treasure and receives favor from the Lord. So he who finds a wife. This is the New Living Translation. So again, this is active. This is the man being active on his part to go and to seek his bride. Finally, I would point you to Genesis chapter 2, the creation story, especially verse 24, where it was Adam who was the one to leave and cleave. So he made the first step towards Eve in forming that marriage bond. And I believe that this is God's pattern for us today on how to date, that primarily 99% of the time, God wants the man to take the brunt of that risk and to pursue the woman. Okay, two practical points about this. First, I say that a woman who is that direct runs the risk of meeting and possibly marrying a passive guy. And this is a guy that may seem exciting at first because he's like, sure, I'll go with the flow. But over time, I wonder if this is the kind of guy that will have the backbone, the tenacity, the grit to maintain a lifelong marriage. Second, I don't believe that a woman directly asking out a guy works. I just don't think it works. In the 99% times that I've seen women do this, it just doesn't work. So maybe a few men respond to it. But I want to say this, ladies, the kind of guy you want is going to ask you out. The kind of guy you want to fall in love with, be with, have kids with, he's going to be that bold. He's going to come up to you and he's going to ask. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, do some things. Maybe you can invite him to a party. Maybe you can happen to run into him at church. And I believe that you can even tell him how you feel. Like if you've been pining over someone for a while and you can't move forward, or you have to know, tell him how you feel. And even if you tell him if you like him, that still puts the onus on him to respond and then see if he will choose to pursue you at that point. But ladies, you are a treasure to be found, and I hope that you allow a guy to find you. If you have to, make yourself known, make yourself available, do that. But otherwise, I would put the brunt of the risk on the guy. Let me know what you think. Make a comment. Write a question below and I will answer it. Check out my blog. And again, if you like this video, please hit that button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.